What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So the Utah Jazz and Rudy Gobert have agreed to a 5-year, $205 million contract extension, and this is the biggest deal in the history of NBA for a center. This is sort of a change in fortunes when it pertains to Gobert's relationship with the Utah Jazz. If you recall, shortly before the season restarted, and maybe in the early stages of the restart, there was some speculation that um, Gobert's days with the Jazz might be numbered, and that became uh, a speculation, mostly because of the fact that if you remember during the early stages of, the main story of this year when that started, I think Gobert was the first high-profile player to acquire it, I believe, and this came in the wake of his flippant and cavalier attitude toward it during the press conference when he was coughing on things and touching things and making light of it. And then he became, I think, the first notable player to actually acquire it. And then later on, his teammate Donovan Mitchell acquired it, and that caused a lot of friction between the two. And the fallout, because of the criticism of Gobert in that situation, led to the speculation that maybe their relationship would be irreparable. Maybe their relationship was, just was unrepairable at the time, and that maybe that would necessitate a move. But apparently that isn't the case anymore. Apparently they are on good terms. Apparently, they have to be on great terms, to the point where Gobert did not take the full max, which would have been 228 million, because he wants the Jazz organization to have some flexibility when it comes to other contracts, notably Donovan Mitchell. So, that's good news for him. Um, do I think that he's worth it? Well, he's a three-time All-Star, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, and there have been numerous years where Gobert was omitted from the All-Star team, even though he had the sufficient numbers to be on there. Because a lot of times it's just a popularity contest. He's not the greatest center of all time, obviously. But at the end of the day, he is somewhat accomplished. So I don't really have a problem with it because the market that of course we're in. But you know, it is what it is. He's not exactly the best center representative for this era. Gobert would have been more valuable as a center, say 15, 20 years ago. He doesn't have the skill set that most organizations want to have that would want, and that most organizations would want in their big man now to be more of a playmaker, decent rebounder, passer, and a threat from outside. A guy like Jokic, he's perfect for this era. Gobert is a more traditional big man, rebounding, shot blocker, um, interior defender, limited offensively to just maybe 10 feet or so from the basket. But Gobert still is a rather effective player. And whether or not the Utah Jazz have championship hopes, I don't agree with that. But, I just hope this. I just hope that Gobert doesn't have that jinx that we sometimes see with certain people, that sign big contracts. Whether you're talking about maybe a guy like Joe Johnson, you see it with him sometimes, and others, where once they acquire that big contract, once they get that bag, you don't see another big year from them until they're in their next contract year. So we'll see. But tell me what you guys think.